I did not record an intro, so we're just gonna jump right into it. I am doing my niece's makeup for her birthday dinner. Right now I am carving out her brows. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape, I believe in light medium, and I'm just shaping her brows. I didn't fill them in because her brows are already naturally full. So I probably did a few strokes just to fill in some sparse spots, but her brows were naturally full, so I did not fill them in. Right now I am also adding some concealer to her eyelids for eyeshadow. I do not use primer. I don't think it's really needed. So for those of you that don't want to go out and buy an eye primer, you really don't need it. You can use concealer. So I'm just blending that in. I am not going to set, but I am just adding a neutral shade to her brow bone. And now I am going in with this medium brown shade. I am using the James Charles palette by Morphe, and throughout the video I will show you guys what shade I'm using, each shade I'm using. So I'm just blending that back and forth, both sides, just to add a little bit of depth to her crease. She wanted a neutral glam, so we're not going too dark, but I did want the color to still show. So I am just blending the corners and bringing it into her crease with that same medium brown shade. Now, if you want a very natural look, you can literally just use this matte medium brown, and leave it at that. But I did want to add a little bit of a shimmer to her eye. So that's what I'm doing here. I took one of the shimmer shades in that palette, and I believe I'm going to show you the shade right there. And I am just placing that on 3/4 of her lid, leaving the outer corner with just the matte brown shade. And I'm just swiping that on with a brush, with a flat brush, just so it can show up more opaque. I'm taking a smaller detailed brush and I'm getting the inner corners of her eyes. So far I did apply a little bit of the e.l.f. Halo Glow to her face, but it was not shown on camera. But I did apply a little bit of the e.l.f. Halo Glow in shade 3, I believe, just like her T-zone area. You can see wherever she's like glowing, that is where I added the e.l.f. Halo Glow. And then I added the SheGlam liquid blush. I love their liquid blushes. They're super inexpensive and they're very opaque and they blend great. Then I'm taking this Sephora Micro Smooth powder and I'm just pressing that onto the perimeter of her face because she has really good skin, so I didn't really add any extra foundation after the e.l.f. Halo Glow to her face. Now I'm taking the same Shark Tape concealer and I am concealing under her eyes and down the middle of her nose, her chin, and her forehead. And that's where you want to place your concealer. That's where you want the brightness to come out. Here I'm just starting in the middle of the face. I like to blend the middle first because you don't need that to set as much as under the eyes. I like to blend the eye under the eyes at last, just so it's not moving too much of the product. So I like to blend the T-zone first and then I go under the eyes. I'm using this concealer brush from Shein. It came in a 4-pack and I am obsessed with it. It makes blending the concealer so much easier. And that's why you like to let the under the eyes set a little bit, because then it won't move the product and then the concealer will stay exactly where you placed it and it won't pick up too much product if you let it set and dry down a little bit. Now I'm taking a pressed Maybelline Fit Me powder to set under her eyes. I found going in with a pressed powder before a loose powder gives it better coverage and stops it from creasing. So that's what I'm doing here, and I think I use the shade 120. I like to use a shade or two lighter than the skin tone to set under the eye. And then I'm just taking a powder that is more so her skin tone shade just to blend that together so she's not super too bright, because she wanted a more natural look. Now I'm taking a powder blush. After already using the liquid blush, I like to take a powder brush just to add the color back, because once you conceal, it kind of takes it away. For me, blush is my favorite part, so I like to add the blush, because blush is one thing that goes away the fastest throughout the day. Now I just quickly contoured her face. I just used the Butter Smooth, the butter bronzer from Physicians Formula. I didn't want to do anything too dark or too harsh because she really didn't need it. She's naturally dark around the perimeter of her face, so she has kind of like a natural contour to her face. Now I'm just taking this I would say like burgundy, like chestnut brown color, and I'm putting that under her lid to smoke it out. She is wearing red, so she just wanted a little bit of depth to her eye color. I already added the highlighter off camera. I didn't add too much highlight because the Halo Glow did peek through the skin, but this is the finished face look. Now I'm going to start lining her lips. She naturally has a nice lip shape already, so I didn't have to overdraw. I wanted to take that more neutral color. I didn't want to go too dark with the brown liner because she did want a natural lip, but she just wanted a little bit of depth to it and some color. So now I'm taking the Q-tip and I'm blending out the liner, and I'm also using this Kylie Velvet Cream liquid lipstick. It's more of like a pinky shade, but not too pink. So that mixed with the brown liner kind of makes it like the perfect neutral, but she did want a gloss, so I did top that with a gloss right on top. And I used more of like a cream finish gloss over top of her liquid lipstick. Now I'm just setting her face with the Makeup Revolution setting spray. That's my favorite inexpensive setting spray, but that is the finished look. Very natural, but very glam. She already had her lashes. She has lash extensions, so I did not apply the lashes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know what other looks you guys want to see in the future.